Oh, what's going on, everybody? It's another Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. That's right, little Udo Dirkschneider. And Accept, Metal Heart, an album that came out 40 years ago this week. Can you believe it? 1985. Yeah, that's right. 40 years, right? Am I right about that? Let me make sure, because sometimes, folks, I am very dumb when it comes to math. Especially simple math. No, I was right. 40 years. I know my addition and subtraction. The sixth studio album released by Accept, and this one more of a mainstream type of album where they were trying to get American radio airplay. So a lot of the songs or a lot of the style of the album matched sort of what the California metal scene was doing. And it really was a success because a lot of the songs are some of the most popular. At first, people were like, oh, my God, this is not Balls to the Wall. It's not Restless and Wild. It's not, what we're used to from the earlier 80s. But eventually, it became sort of the breakthrough for them to crack the American market, because the next tour was the Russian Roulette Tour, and they ended up opening for Dio, which was a big deal. I remember seeing them at Madison Square Garden, so there you go. So we'll spotlight Metal Heart throughout the show. That's the title track that we just played, excuse me, of that album. Coming up in 20 minutes, Sam Calagione, the founder and brewer of Dogfish Brewing, will join me from Vintage Green Rooftop to celebrate their new release of 30-Minute Light IPA and Quitter's Day, a fun night in Midtown. You'll get to hear that towards the bottom of the hour. All right, let's get into some news, shall we? AleSmith is hosting their second annual coffee and beer event in their tasting room. This is taking place on Saturday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the event, they're going to have a full tap list of different coffee beer styles in collaboration with breweries and coffee roasters from around the country. They're also going to be releasing a special 16-ounce mixed six-pack featuring collaborations with Reuben Brews and Kuma Coffee, Masthead Brewing and Six Shooter Coffee, Arizona Wilderness Brewing Company, and Pixoto Coffee Roasters, Fort George Brewery and Coeva Coffee Roasters, North Park Beer Company, and Dark Horse Coffee Roasters, and then finally Firestone Walker and Honeyco Coffee. The event will feature food pop-ups, live music, coffee sampling, and a lot more. Stay tuned for more details on that. That is pretty cool. AleSmith does a tremendous job when it comes to their barrel age series, the Vietnamese coffee stuff, all of the coffee Speedway type of stouts. So this, I'm sure, is going to be just phenomenal. Again, it's taking place on Saturday, February 22nd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Nightglow, turning one in February in Brooklyn. They're releasing a new version of their first release. We talked about it on last week's program. It's a sessionable coffee brown ale brewed with New York-grown ingredients with Valley Malt, New York Craft Malt, and the Hop Guild. They've added a Decadent. It's a super popular light roast coffee from their sister brand, Dayglow, for a beautiful symphony of flavors. It's a 4.5% low ABV winter warmer featuring notes of milk chocolate, dates, nougat, and Tootsie Roll candy. It will be out very soon if it's not out already. Trying to get Johnny on the program again, Johnny Iffergan, the owner of Nightglow, to talk about the anniversary party and what they're going to do for that anniversary party. And, of course, New York City Beer Week coming up at the end of next month, February 22nd. That'll be at Industry City, 3 to 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. Just do a search for NYC Brewed. It'll take you, you get there, you click events, right to the Eventbrite page. You can buy tickets there. I can't wait. It's going to be phenomenal. New floor of Industry City this year, overlooking the harbor, and more than just beer, cider, wine, spirits, all kinds of stuff, coffee. It's going to be great. Founders has got some new KBS variants coming your way. KBS Hazelnut Fudge will be available this February. Now, the other KBS variant is arriving in the summer. They're saying it's a secret, but they also have two more mystery barrel-aged beers that will be coming your way this October and November. They're excited to announce them later this year. They're two fan favorites. One of them you're sure to get a kick out of. But the folks at My Beer Buzz have maybe cracked the code for the next KBS that's coming out. The next KBS variant looks like it's going to be KBS Iced Latte, an Imperial Golden Ale, not a stout, they say, so maybe a KBA or KBG, brewed with coffee, cocoa nibs, lactose, and vanilla extract that is aged in bourbon barrels. That sounds good. The variant is going to hit 11% ABV, packaged in 12-ounce bottles. This is likely the July-August release that Founders was teasing. So there you go. Maybe you got a little bit of advanced knowledge there, which is great. Haven't seen much of Founders in New Jersey. I know that the Cloverleaf Tavern just did their breakfast stout breakfast, which they do every year. That's a phenomenal event. You go, they want you to go in your pajamas. They make this decadent French toast using the Founders beer as a base. And then you get a Founders breakfast stout coffee mug that it's really cool. It's different every year. And you can drink the Founders out of that, and you can take the mug home. They limit it to like 75 people. It's a fun event. You have to sign up. They just did it last weekend. A really cool event. I've been to it. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun for a Saturday morning. It's kind of cool. Now, our friends at Coronado Brewing are proud to announce the official launch of Aloha Warrior IPA in 16-ounce six-packs that is available starting this month. The beer represents more than just a new addition to the Coronado Brewing lineup. It's a tribute to a hero and a vital effort to support active duty Navy SEALs and their families, which, of course, train in Coronado. To celebrate the launch, Coronado Brewing Company will host a release party on Saturday, January 25th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the company's Bay Park Tasting Room and Kitchen. The event will feature live music, specials, tastings, giveaways, and more. Attendees will have the chance to learn about the C4 Foundation's mission and support the cause while enjoying a community celebration. Aloha Warrior IPA is the result of an exciting partnership between Coronado Brewing and the C4 Foundation, which is an organization founded in honor of Charles Humphrey Keating IV, their C4, a Coronado local and Navy SEAL. Charlie was a regular at Coronado Brewing's Island Pub. On May 3rd, 2016, he heroically gave his life in Iraq while defending the nation's freedoms. The C4 Foundation continues his legacy by providing unmatched resources and support for Navy SEALs and their families through neuroscience-based programs that reduce stress, strengthen relationships, and foster optimism and resilience. This beer is not just an incredible IPA. It is a symbol of our commitment to supporting the amazing work the C4 Foundation does for the SEAL community. That from Ron Chapman, owner and co-founder of Coronado Brewing. Charlie and the C4 team have long been a part of the Coronado Brewing family. We're honored to partner together in this meaningful way. The beer, a refreshing American IPA, super crisp, brewed with a blend of Simcoe, Chinook, and Columbus cryo hops, fruity and earthy notes of pine, bright grapefruit shine through, while the Columbus hops deliver massive hop character balanced by a clean, crisp finish. It was released on draft in the summer of last year. The beer quickly became a favorite among the locals in San Diego, and now with the launch of the 16-ounce cans, more people can enjoy the beer while supporting this important cause. This is cool. Each can of Aloha Warrior IPA is adorned with a QR code that links to the C4 Foundation website, making it easy for customers to learn more about the Foundation's mission and support with a single click. A portion of the proceeds from those six-packs will support the Foundation's efforts to strengthen the families of our nation's elite warriors. And again, live music, food and beer specials, tastings of Aloha Warrior IPA, exclusive giveaways for attendees, opportunities to learn more about the C4 Foundation and its mission. That's taking place on Saturday, January 25th from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Coronado Bay Park Tasting Room and Kitchen. CoronadoBrewing.com for more information. You can scan the QR code on the can, and you can learn more about the C4 Foundation and how you can support Navy SEAL families by visiting the website C4 Foundation, see the number 4, foundation.org. That's awesome. If anybody is in the San Diego area and you can make it there on Saturday, January 25th from 1 to 5 p.m., I certainly would encourage you to do so. You'd be doing it for a great cause. Now, when we come back after a short break, not only will we have more news and notes from around the beer world, but here's something interesting that I didn't know, and I just thought that this was just commonplace. Did you know that there are states in this country where you cannot, it is illegal for you under the age of 21 to drink a non-alcoholic beer? That's right. Even though it's non-alcohol, in certain states you must be 21 or older to drink it. I'm going to reveal that and more. Some interesting stuff about non-alcoholic beer, and of course, news and other things as well. Coming up next on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970, The Answer. Welcome back to the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970. The Answer. Forgive me, I am dealing with a little bit of a cold here as I've been recording this show over the week. I'll tell you the quick story. When you go to the gym, it's a good idea that if you, I don't know, if you're coughing, you don't feel good, might be a good idea not to go to the gym. There's a woman next to me doing her thing, and apparently every 8-9 steps, she just kept banging away with a cough. And all I could think to myself was, oh boy, I think I'm probably going to get sick. And sure enough, there it is. Sore throat, nose. What can you do? I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I just don't get it. If you don't feel well, stay home. My son didn't come to the gym with me for the first week because he knew he wasn't feeling good. He was coughing. Maybe I got it from him, but I don't think so. I think I would have gotten it like shortly after he got it, but, I digress. Coming up in 10 minutes, Sam Calagione, the founder and brewer of Dogfish Brewing, joins me from Vintage Green Rooftop to celebrate their new release of 30-Minute Light IPA and Quitter's Day. It was a fun night in Midtown. You get to hear that in just a few minutes. All right, so before we took a break for the first segment, I had mentioned to you that about non-alcoholic beer, and you would think that because it doesn't have alcohol in it or very low alcohol, that maybe somebody under the age of 21 could drink it anywhere in the U.S. But that's actually not true. So listen to this. It is legal to drink non-alcoholic beer under the age of 21 only with parental permission and supervision in Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Oregon, West Virginia, and Wyoming. In Ohio, non-alcoholic beer can be legally consumed if you're over 18, and in Mississippi and North Dakota, you can drink non-alcoholic beer between 18 and 21 only with parental supervision. There are 15 states that have a full prohibition on the consumption of non-alcoholic beers under the age of 21. Listen to this list: Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Maine, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, New York, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Utah. I did not know that. So even if it's non-alcoholic, you still can't drink it unless you're 21. There are also 9 states where there are no clear laws, one way or another, where it comes to the consumption of non-alcoholic beer. In those states, servers might err on the side of caution and refuse to provide non-alcoholic beer to a minor to avoid potential penalties. Those states are Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Kentucky, Nevada, New Hampshire, and Vermont. And the remaining 17 states, which includes New Jersey, allow people of any age to consume non-alcoholic beer. Now, the reason why is that existing laws that ban alcoholic beer for minors don't specify anything about the ABV of beer. The Federal Alcohol Administration Act, which is unrelated to actual drinking ages, as it's decided by the states, defines beer as simply a malt beverage, and similar language is used by some states. In other cases, it has more to do with caution of not wanting to go down that road and have kids having mental associations with beers, and even when there aren't laws, some shopkeepers choose not to sell non-alcoholic beer to children. I mean, I was astounded that in New York you can unless you're 21, and that in New Jersey there is no law. You can basically serve it to anybody, including people under the age of 18. Very interesting stuff. Piece in Chowhound. I will tweet the link out for that. And you can check it out for yourselves. Pretty wild. So we've been talking about the Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival, that 19th annual Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival, which is taking place Saturday, March 29th at the Atlantic City Convention Center. I will be there. If you want, though, head over to Icarus Brewing on Thursday, February 6th. From 6 to 8 p.m., you can hang out with the Good Time Tricycle crew. You can snag tickets to the festival in March with an awesome ticket and beer promo. Now, listen to this. This is a great thing that John Henderson does. He goes to a bunch of breweries. If you buy your tickets at the brewery, you can get them for $80 plus tax. Now, you have to pay the tax, which is 12.6%, because there's some fees, there's taxes, Atlantic City, and all that other stuff. That makes your tickets a flat $90. There are no fees. Now, if you pay with a credit card, you're going to pay 2.6%. Obviously, if you pay with a card. If you pay cash, it's a straight $90. It saves you $12 a ticket, and they'll buy you an Icarus beer, one per transaction. So think about that. You will get a beer, you get your tickets on, you get your beer on Atlantic City Beer and Music Fest, people, and you get your tickets without having to pay those ridiculous fees, and you save $12. And they're buying your first beer. Come on. Can't beat it. New Icarus, maybe you haven't been there yet, go. February 6th, 6 to 8 p.m. I'll be there. I'm going to interview John for the Craft Beer Cast. I'll have a beer with John. I'll buy his beer. And the band lineup is 12 to 4, noon to 4 is Census Fail, 7 to 11 is Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, acbeerfest.com for all the details. In addition, you can go to these breweries right now till March 27th and buy your tickets there with no fees. Listen to this. So there's Farm Truck Brewing, Dr. Brew Littles, Axe and Arrow, Pinelands, Bear Brewing, Ship Bottom in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, not at the Ship Bottom on Long Beach Island, Glasstown, Lone Eagle, Farmers and Bankers, Bolero Snort, Swedesboro, and Wild Air. Again, $90. Credit card fees do apply, but if you go to any of those breweries that I mentioned, you can buy your tickets directly from those breweries, $90. Same as if you go to Icarus. That's a good deal, folks. That's a really good deal. For the first time in 14 years, Big Brew Beer Festival, one session, VIP hour. It's Saturday, March 1st. VIP is noon to 1. The general admission is 1 to 5. The tickets are on sale now at bigbrewNJ.com. That's the only site for ticket sales. They don't do Groupon anymore. Only 500 VIP tickets available. It'll get you in an hour early. First access to all special releases without the crowds. It's at the Morristown Armory, 430 Western Avenue, Morristown, New Jersey. Live music by Mr. Lovejoy, and it's a benefit for the Morris Rugby Corporation. Again, bigbrewNJ.com for tickets and info. Now, New York City Restaurant Week is taking place January 21st till February 9th. And I've talked about this with Ann Riley, the executive director of the New York City Brewers Guild. Restaurant Week and Beer Week should be the same time. This way you can take advantage of everything. But anyway, Torch and Crown is going to be involved in New York City Restaurant Week. Listen to this. A prefixed menu for lunch and dinner. How do you beat this in Manhattan? $30 three-course lunch includes appetizer, entree, dessert, drink, pairings, and discounts. $45 three-course dinner includes appetizer, entree, dessert, drink, pairings, and discounts. Tax and gratuity not included in the price. You tell me where you're going to find a better deal for lunch for $30 in Manhattan. You're not. 45. 45 for dinner. Where are you finding that? Come on. Make your reservations, Torch and Crown. Use Resi. Get over there. Food's great. Beer is fantastic as well. And then finally, or not finally, but the New York City Beer Week kicks off Saturday, February 22nd, 3 to 7:30 p.m., nycbrewed.com for tickets. It'll be at Industry City. It's going to be in a new space, second floor, overlooking the courtyard and the ice rink below, as well as the harbor. Not only are they going to have beer, spirits, wine, cider, Macchioli, I think it's Macchioli, coffee, so much more, It's going to be a blast. I will be there. I already got my tickets. I cannot wait. It's going to be a fantastic time. Again, Saturday, February 22nd, kickoff to New York City Beer Week, 3 to 7:30 p.m., nycbrewed.com for tickets. And finally, Lawson's Finest, Double Sunshine, making its way out of Vermont for the first time ever. From glass bottle beginnings to 6 years of being a taproom exclusive, Double Sunshine will now be hitting their full distribution in cans for a limited time. This is Sean's original home run brew. Double Sunshine is actually the inspiration behind their flagship Sip of Sunshine, originally brewed in Warren, Vermont. Right around the time when Citra hops came out, Double Sunshine is bursting with tropical hop flavor and balanced with a sweet, malty backbone and nice dry finish. Stay tuned for more details to come. Keep your eyes peeled for 4 packs of Double Sunshine very, very soon. Good stuff coming out from Lawson's Finest. When we come back after a short break, Sam Calagione, the founder and brewer of Dogfish Brewing, joins me from Vintage Green Rooftop in Midtown Manhattan. This is the Algatulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970, The Answer. Welcome back to the Algatulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970, The Answer. Yeah, still dealing with that cold here, and we're still dealing with some, except Metal Heart from 1985, which came out this week, back in 1985, 40 years ago. Coming up in just a moment, my interview with Sam Calagione from Dogfish Head Brewing, from the, let me make sure I get the name of the place right, the Vintage Green Rooftop, right inside of a hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Right off of Lexington Avenue. Fantastic stuff. The 30-minute light IPA is out now. It is fantastic. It's a new and improved version of the Slightly Mighty, low in calories and carbs, but it is a delicious beer. 95 calories, just under 4 carbs. Great conversation with Sam. And without further ado, let us listen to that interview with Sam Calagione from Dogfish Head Brewing right now. Welcome back to the Algatulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970. The Answer. We're here at the Village Green Rooftop. It's located at 303 Lexington Avenue on the east side of Manhattan. The best part is you get a great view of the Empire State Building, which is awesome. But not only that, we are sitting here drinking the new 30-minute light IPA that is out right now from Dogfish. My next guest, one of the founders of that brewery located in Delaware. He's been serving IPAs of the 60, 90, and 120-minute variety for over 25 years. Actually, this is the 30. It's 30 years this year. And that's why they're doing a 30-minute light IPA. It's out now wherever you purchase beer. For more info on the brewery, you head over to dogfish.com. Let me welcome back to the Craft Beer Cast on AM 970, The Answer, a good friend of the show, Sam Calagione. Sam, how are you?
Al, it's awesome to be here with you. I've always thought of you as a brother from another mother, but now that we share ink on our bodies permanently, that's right, we've taken it to another level.
That's right. Last time I was with Sam, he convinced me to get a tattoo, and I have it on my left arm, and gave me a little shout out here at the event tonight when introducing the beer, which was fantastic. Now, kudos on this new beer. I love that you have a new addition to the Minute IPA series and the 30-minute light IPA. How long have you had this beer brewing in your head?
That's good brewing in my head, you're right. So, 90-minute was the first. A lot of people think because 60-minute does sell more than 90-minute. But 90-minute we started brewing in 1999. That was our first continually hop IPA. And my old buddy Greg Cook, who started Stone, told me, he emailed me like 20 years ago. I was like, hey, I thought our beer was the first beer that said Imperial IPA on a label, but it was actually your 90-minute. So we're really proud of that. And then 2 years after that, in around 01, we came out with 60-minute. But we've been, playing around with lower ABV IPAs like Slightly Mighty for half a decade, more than that. But about a year ago, we figured out, I could tell you, but I have to kill you. We figured out a way to get this beer to taste as hoppy as it does, only be 3.6 carbs, only be 95 calories without using the monk fruit. So monk fruit was a natural sweetener that was in Slightly Mighty to give it body. We had a breakthrough about a year ago. We're like, you know what? We don't need the monk fruit anymore. Let's evolve in our 30th anniversary year. Let's evolve Slightly Mighty to become 30-minute IPA and take the monk fruit out of it. Still 3.6 carbs, still 95 calories.
Nice. And so we're here at Vintage Green Rooftop. to celebrate Quitter's Day with the 30-minute light IPA. What is Quitter's Day, and what's the tie-in with the 30-minute light IPA?
So I got to give props to my coworker Megan and our pals at Golan, but they figured out that there's one day that you can actually, you can tell, data shows it's the one day that the biggest volume of people quit their New Year's resolution. Right. And it's always the second Friday in January, which makes sense, right? People get banged up on New Year's Eve, like, oh, I'm quitting, and then first Friday, they got like, oh, get through one weekend, but they can't make it through 2 weekends, right. A lot of them. So we're like, let's lean into that and become the official beer of Quitter's Day, which is the second Friday of January. So we announced that last week, and we asked people to go to Dogfish Social and share their stories about how they quit their New Year's resolution, and we rewarded them with a voucher so they get some 30-minute IPA on us.
Nice. Not bad. We're talking with Sam Calagione, the founder and brewer of Dogfish Head Beer. 30-minute light IPA is just 95 calories with just under 4 grams of carbs. It's out now nationwide. For more info on the brewery, you can head to dogfish.com. Coming to you from Vintage Green Rooftop in Midtown Manhattan as they're launching the beer here for the media and here on the Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970. The Answer. Not only did you make a new beer, but you partnered with a bakery in Maryland to make a beer-infused cake using that 30-minute light IPA. It sounded delicious. We're eating the cake right now. Now, are you serving this at the brew pubs, and why a beer-infused cake?
Yeah, we are, Al. I mean, basically, we wanted to rally around this concept of, in America, we go big, and we should go big for our New Year's resolution. So many New Year's resolutions are about restricting yourself. We want to amplify ourselves. So I took up rope jumping, I don't know what you'd call it, but I partnered with some friends at Cross Rope, and my goal, my New Year's resolution this year is to be able to continually hop for 30 minutes.
While
the beer is hopping. And that way I can drink what I want and eat what I want. So we said, you know what? New Year's resolutions, piece of cake, right? So he said, you know what? We have this famous cake company 30 minutes from Dogfish Head store in the Maryland side called Smith Island Cakes. They do this beautiful multi-layer cakes. Let's collaborate on a recipe with them to do a cake that not only has 30-minute IPA in the actual batter of the cake, replacing the milk in that recipe, but it also has powdered malt extract, brewer's barley extract. So when you try it, the icing has the barley extract, and you can taste that.
Right.
And the actual cake component has the 30-minute IPA in it. So it's a beautiful cake. Your listeners can buy it on goldbelly.com, so it's for sale nationally from Smith Island Cakes and Dogfish Head.
Listen, I've had it, and I'm about to devour the rest of it, and it's delicious, but I got to ask, you're always, and I asked this of Augie Carton from Carton once, and it's like the two of you, you're always thinking as a chef, as a brewer, as opposed to just a brewer. Is that, I know that you've mentioned it before, but was that always your mindset when you were coming up with beers?
Yeah, and for us, when I was 23 or whatever, and living in New York City and bartending, writing the business plan for Dogfish, I knew I wasn't going to be able to raise a lot of money to open the brewery. So I was like, all right, what can I do that will be impactful for marketing but doesn't cost a lot? And that's where I was like, you know what, I'm going to source exotic ingredients from around the world and add them to beer. Because now if you visit a small tasting room brewery, it's awesome to see fruited sours and pastry stouts. But when Dogfish was coming up in the 90s, there was none of that. The first generation of craft brewers made awesome beer, but they were water, yeast, hops, and barley. So we took a lot of arrows in the late 90s, but it's always been Dogfish Head's mission, and I'm proud that today still the majority of Dogfish Head's beers are brewed with culinary ingredients.
Right. Last question from me, Sam, and thanks for giving me a few minutes, and thanks for having me at this event. It's fantastic.
Of course.
The beer landscape changing again. Nobody is immune to inflation and all sorts of things over the last year. We've seen it last year, obviously, more breweries closed than opened. In your opinion, what can you do to stay focused as those changes are happening and continue to do what you're doing as a business?
I would say there's like a holy trinity of priorities, regardless of what scale your brewery aspires to be, whether you're local or or national. And in the late 90s, coming up when IPAs were just taking off, there was kind of the 3 C's of hops, Cascade, Centennial. But now I'd say it's the 3 C's of building a brand are commerce. You got to make sure you're profitable. You got to be commercial. Creativity. Stop ripping off other people's cool trend beers and come up with your own.
Right.
And community building. Figure out, like what we just did with this cake company. Figure out, similar peers in your community that resonate with your audience for your beer and do collaborative partnerships with them. And give back to your community. The good karma that comes with giving back to your community is part of that community building too. So those 3 C's, commerce, creativity, and community building, is what's going to get us through this challenging moment for craft beer.
Wise words from a wise man. My guest has been Sam Calagione, head founder, brewer of Dogfish Head Beer, 30-minute light IPA, just 95 calories, just under 4 grams of carbs. It's out now nationwide. For more info on the brewery, head to dogfish.com. We're here at the Vintage Green Rooftop in Midtown Manhattan. What a spectacular place as they launch the beer for us tonight. Sam, thanks so much for having me. I always appreciate it. Thanks for the tattoo. Thanks for everything. You are the best, man.
Al, we're sitting in this beautiful room, as you said. On one side, we see the Empire State Building. On the other is the Chrysler. But I can't take my eyes off your Dogfish Head tattoo.
I love it. When we come back after a short break, it's time for Suds and Duds on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Final segment of the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Too High to Get It Right from Accept's Metal Heart album, which came out this past week. Back in 1985, 40 years old. Sorry, folks, battling a little bit of a cold. I was trying to muddle my way through it here, but it is affecting my throat a little bit, and, these things happen. By the way, word of advice, when you're heading to the gym to work out and you're not feeling too good, and you're coughing, probably a good idea not to go to the gym. So I probably got this from a woman at the gym who was standing next to me on a treadmill and doing her workout. And as she was working out, every time, it was literally like I counted it, 8 to 10 steps, she'd start coughing. And she's coughing into her left arm, and then her right arm, and then her left arm, and then 8 more steps, and then doing it again. I guarantee you that's probably where I got sick. So nothing bad, just a little cold. Not gonna whine about it. It does happen. It is January, and sometimes you get a cold. But let's dive in to Suds and Duds, shall we? Park Pivo. That's what we're going to start off with here from Torch and Crown. When I stopped over there a couple of weeks ago to interview John Danzler, picked up some beer to take home, and when I see a Pilsner, I have got to pick it up, and let me tell you something. Grassy, nice hop, crisp, delicious, excellent beer. The folks at Torch and Crown do great stuff. As we mentioned earlier in the show, Restaurant Week is coming up. They've got a prefixed lunch, prefixed dinner. You can't beat it. $30 for lunch, $45 for dinner, appetizer, meal, and dessert, plus drink specials. Come on. Where are you getting that in the city? I don't care congestion pricing or not. $30 is a great deal for lunch. For the two of you, it's $60 for lunch, and you've eaten a full meal. It's not like they're just throwing you a hamburger. I mean, that's good stuff. So kudos to Torch and Crown. Too Much Fun by Wet Ticket. Every time I'm at Wet Ticket, if Too Much Fun is on tap, I'm drinking it. You should too. It's the collab beer that I did with them, and great job. It's a new version that's out, even better. I mean, you can't beat it. Droning On. This is a great lager. Light lager that Wet Ticket did. It's only on tap. Smooth, easy drinking. I love the label. They're eventually going to put this in cans. It is really, Tim really knocked this one out of the park. If he keeps this on tap for the rest of the year, like just, rotating it, every couple of weeks there's a new batch or whatever, this is fantastic. I mean, this is the one that I would walk in. That's the beer I'd want to drink all the time. If he doesn't have it, I'll have the Kolsch, but that's a great beer droning on. Tim, kudos to you, sir. Then I did the coconut porter on tap. I love a good porter. And Tim does an excellent porter. I wish he would do Railway of the Highway. I keep saying that, Tim. I hope if you're listening, you really got to remake that one again. But the coconut porter is great. Not over the top. Coconut is perfectly balanced in this beer. It doesn't overwhelm you, but it's a nice warmer. You let it warm up. In fact, it was so good when I had it on draft there that I bought a 4-pack to take home. That's how good it is. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And they're open every day of the week, 7 days a week. Usually open most days at 4 o'clock. On the weekends, it's earlier, but they stay open until 9. Fridays and Saturdays until 10 o'clock at night. Great place to go for a beer, and great food options in the area as well. As we continue on with Suds and Duds here on AM 970, The Answer on the Al Gattullo Craft Beer Cast. Gretchen from Little Dog had given me a Crowler can of the spiced apple wheat that she made. And I had a taste of it before I left there when I was there back in December, early December. A delicious beer. This, to me, apple, there's a nice apple flavor in it. It's light. It's delicious. This is one of those beers you have with dessert, with like a slice of apple pie or just something. It's very light. It's not over the top, and the spiciness of the apple is really, really good in it. It's a delicious beer. Gretchen does a great job. I found this in the back of the fridge. King Arthur Steed by Icarus. Solid Baltic coconut porter. And it's matured a little bit in the can because, God, I remember, when did I buy that? I think I bought that when Icarus opened their new place. I think that's when I bought it. And I missed out on the 8th anniversary. Kudos to them. They do a great job. I'm going to be down there in a couple of weeks. The Atlantic City Beer and Music Fest is going to be selling tickets first Thursday, I believe, in... is it the first Thursday in February? Let me check my calendar again. I'm pretty sure it's the first Thursday in February. Oh, no. Yeah, right? Yeah. It's the 6th. That's right. It's the 6th. So first Thursday in February, they will be down there selling tickets, no fees. And you definitely want to check that out. And I'm going to be down there to meet up with my boy John Henderson. We'll do a little interview. We'll promote, obviously, the AC Beer and Music Fest. It's going to be great. And while I was drinking that Icarus that night on Christmas night, that's how far back it is, I decided, you know what? I'm watching some football. I'm just chilling. I said, you know what? I looked in the back of the fridge. I saw I had the Cane Holy Nights, which I don't even remember when I bought this. It's the 2023 version. So I definitely bought it the year before. And if you love chocolate, you will love this beer. Decadent, thick, delicious. I mean, it was like drinking, I don't want to say, it just really, really cold chocolate milk. I don't know. See, that's not even, because it's not milk. There's not, I would just say if you love chocolate, this is a beer you're going to like. If you see this on tap, Holy Nights, I would absolutely advise that you get it, because it was really good. And then my brother-in-law for Christmas got me a 6-pack of Victory's layered up wintertime stout. And actually, my niece Penelope picked it out because she liked the can, she liked the color of the 6-pack or whatever, and she said, I think Uncle Albert will like this. And you know what? Roasty, dry, chocolate flavored, nice. I like the dryness in it. I like the fact that you let it warm up a little bit, and it definitely hits all of the right notes that you want out of a low ABV stout, which is fantastic. So kudos to my brother-in-law, and kudos to my niece Penelope. Nice job. Finally had the last can of Oaxaca Night from Torch and Crown. It was sitting there. I said, a couple days later, I said, I got to have this. Still holds up more than 6 months later. Chocolate, cinnamon, just a slight bit of heat. The heat is sort of not as pronounced anymore. It was a little bit more pronounced when I had it, but a fantastic beer. Really, really nice. I would love if they did this collaboration beer again with this Mexican brewery because it was really good. Bucket List by Bakes. I finally I made it back down to Bakes back in November. Was it November or December? I don't remember when I bought this, but anyway, I finally made it back down there, picked up some things. It was their anniversary on the 28th. I didn't get a chance to get down there, but hazy, juicy, delicious. Bucket List, excellent beer. You won't be disappointed in that one either. And everything that Bakes does is really, really good. Was drinking one of the Ashton beers that I bought just before they closed. Hot Lips. This one had, you know what, I got to click on the picture because I got to see if, no. It's supposed to be a heat beer, but I really didn't get any heat on it at all. I was a little disappointed in that. I thought there would be some heat. There was barely any heat. Like I could detect it, but it was very, 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 very faint. And I remember, I think when I opened up that beer, I remember rinsing out with water and stuff because I wanted to get a clean taste of it just to make sure that if there was, I didn't think there would be too much heat, but it just wasn't enough for me because I could barely taste it. And then finally had a can of the coconut porter from Wet Ticket. That's one, you crack it, you pour it, you let it sit, maybe give it a good 5 minutes to kind of warm up a little bit, and it is an absolutely delicious beer. Tim does so much good stuff. Honest to God, can't really get enough of what he does and his beers. So we're out of time here. My thanks to everybody involved in the show, including my guest, Sam Calagione, the founder and brewer of Dogfish Brewing. They're celebrating their new release of 30-Minute Light IPA, which is available now. Of course, Darren Yellen doing a great job with the program, and we're hoping to add some new advertisers this year as we move forward. And I think we've got some things lined up that hopefully will pan out in the next couple of weeks, and we will keep you informed. And, of course, last but not least, the great Buddy Watson, who, if everything worked out well, I will have met up with him, and he will have given me some cans of Feiden's beer, which I'm very excited about. Now, I'll be back live on the Joe Piscopo Show Monday at 6 a.m. This is the Al Gattulo Craft Beer Cast on AM 970 The Answer. Cheers, everybody.